Send me Shelby the kid in.
Shelby.
Shelby! 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 Okay, buddy, okay. All right. Shelby! Shelby, baby.
Hey, what's happening, dude?
What's up?
You're the breakout intern. We always were waiting to see who it was going to be. Ends up being Shelby.
Nasty.
I don't even think we've had an intern jump out to this kind of opening before.
Right out of the gate.
In like 4 days. This was your 4th day actually here for a full day. It's crazy.
Yep.
Humble.
Locked and loaded.
Listen to him. He's Mr. Energy. We got to do a thing where we shoot him out of a cannon.
Oh, it'd be great. Well, he fought for it. He fought to get in here.
He did.
And he's proven that it was worth it.
But, you know, we ought to get around to thanking Rob, who I haven't seen this whole week. All right, wait. Jason's has some Pixie stuff to bring out to us. Hey, Jason, you're on the Run of Fez show.
Thanks, man. I just wanted to say, I saw this on Facebook that Pixies have a Kickstarter going, and they're doing like a whole photo album of their entire career. And if you go on Kickstarter and buy one, I think they're like $75 for a huge coffee table book. You get a signed copy by Black Francis and your name in the book.
Yeah, they've already raised $175,000 for this. Basically, what they're doing is selling the book before they print it.
And,
See,
the guys...
here's my thing for Shelby. I want Shelby to get away from comedy and become a rock photographer. You got to be backstage taking those pictures of Keith while he's passing out.
I could finagle my way back to Taylor Swift show or something.
You know what?
Like that.
Shelby's brought back the flat top, too, which is interesting. No one else has thought about that in a while.
Love his hairstyle.
Do you really?
Oh, yeah.
Sounds like somebody's turning gay.
Not with an intern. Or any other dude.
Don't fuck the interns. That's a long thing in radio. It's one of the few things that you can fuck up with.
Yeah, you're out of here immediately, right? If you're
Well, it depends on how valued you are. There's certain people who could probably just be like, dude, you promised me you weren't going to fuck the interns. I don't even know how to open up this case here. Oh, there it is. I don't get this. Is the whole contraption, huh? The whole e-cig contraption.
Mm-hmm. That's nice and charged overnight.
Now, how many things have we started and not stuck with? I wonder if this will be one of those.
Well, this being smoking has a higher chance of being
right. What I want to do is when they start to get like little plastic Coke flakes, just something where you can enjoy everything. The chopping, the fucking cutting lines.
It's just water vapor Coke.
Yeah. And then you snort it and it's just vapors. It just vapors down your nostrils.
Just clears your sinuses out.
Mm-hmm.
It just helps.
It just gives you that Coke thing without all the gackiness.
Officer, please. It's water vapor.
What is this? Huh? 1989? You don't understand? I'm just snorting water vapor. Actually, you would always want to snort a little water and make sure you knocked everything down. I shouldn't be talking about that with Doc Gooden walking around. I don't want to get him back on the bad side. But is there anyone who you ever run into in life that says, you know who I don't like? Doc Gooden. Everybody loves him. I remember the first time I came into New York, like on my own, and it was in the 80s. So I'm cruising into town, which is already nuts when you're not... You grew up here, Hicks, so you're not used to the point counterpoint. But Shelby, you know what I'm talking about. The first time you roll into New York, and you're like, fuck. I feel like I'm lost and about to be, swept away in this whole thing. So I come into the tunnel, and I'm heading towards Times Square, and there's this giant sign that has to be on the side of a building, 12, 18 stories, and it's Doc Gooden. And at the time, he's like 19, 20 years old. And I'm like, that's going to go to his head. That's going to fuck him up. Because it was like already overwhelming for me to be in New York, and there wasn't a giant sign of me. You know what I mean? And I'm like, I don't know how he's going to be able to handle this. And, he couldn't. It's too much. People don't realize. You get success young. Let's face it, like Shelby's done with his, coming on here gangbusters. and it all starts to fuck up on you.
Shelby, I don't want you on the pipe. Okay?
All right, I'll stand the straight and narrow.
Being your
Best I
mentor,
can.
it'll be my responsibility.
Mike, you're on the Run of Fez show.
If I do recall, there was another darling intern with a polarizing voice on this channel many years ago. I believe his name is Sam Roberts, professional broadcaster. Do you think that Shelb Silverstein has it in him to become the Ron and Fez show's Sam
Answer
Roberts?
to Sam Roberts. The thing is, Shelby actually makes Sam sound loud and deep.
Yeah.
Because Shelby not only has kind of a high voice, but he also just doesn't have the energy to finish the sentence. And he just trails away. So it'll be like, yeah, I was doing a bit, working on a thing.
What?
And it's just like, oh, that little piece of paper is blowing off into the wind. If Sam had sex, could be Shelby's dead. Because Sam is old now.
Oh, he's getting up there.
And the problem with Sam is, it turned out, as much as we all thought things were heading his way, his career is a disappointment. I put him in the Chris Stanley pile.
What?
Oh, don't worry, I've been in that pile. I was actually taken out of the good pile and put in that pile.
So, all right. So it's just called the Chris Stanley pile.
Oh, you should have, yeah. Well, we're going to name it after the most famous person. Here's Mark. Mark, you're on the Ron and Fez show.
Yeah, I'm a 54-year-old guy, and you're going to have the Counting Crows fella on there.
Fella.
And my music taste is in the mid-70s, but in the mid-90s, early mid-90s, you had a lot of great bands that came out. And the Counting Crows, one of them, Blind Melon, Gin Blossoms. It just seemed like it was like a burst of great bands that came out.
Yeah, there really was. I mean, you talk about the grunge bands, but at the same time, there was a lot of other bands happening, a lot of cool tours at the same time. And it felt like rock was going to be saved at that time, before Shelby's generation came along and yelled out Creed for no apparent reason.
Nickelback.
Rap
Thank
rock.
you.
The later 90s.
Just took a shit all over it.
Well, first, you loved the English Britpop thing for a while.
Oh, yeah, that was a nice...
So it felt like, okay, Britpop is now on top, and then after that, it started to look pretty shitty.
Yeah.
And then finally, you're jacking off the boy bands.
I never masturbated to any boy bands. Never.
Chris?
Yeah?
I'll come in here with evidence if I have to.
God.
Your Honor, I bring in this beach towel
Test it.
covered in stains. All right, what is this thing that you put up? Cinemagraphs? GIFs of the future, Shelby? Is up on the...
Cinemagraphs are a new thing. They're going around the internet really in the past couple years. They're kind of like a GIF, but dare I say, more beautiful.
Oh!
Whoa.
He's brought a
Yeah.
sense of poetry to this show that we've never had before. All right, what's the first one from? What's this?
Well, the ones we have in the iBang, they are examples from film. You know, ones that people are familiar with a lot that we've talked about on the show before. The first one, just to explain what a cinematograph is, it's a photograph that's just like taken a bunch of times and they animate like a part of it. So, for example, in this first one from Sid and Nancy, Sid Vicious is lying on the bed, but you see the fire like animated in the background as
now, this would make a great like picture for your house.
This
I can
is awesome.
definitely see that happening in the future, where like a family takes like a portrait in front of a stream, or they have like somebody's hair blowing, and it's just a giant.
I'm going to pick
cinemagraph
Chris
on the
for
wall.
that
Thank you.
because he's got Indian hair, both Eastern and Western Indian.
The second one, Inglourious Bastards, that famous kind of interrogation scene between Christoph Waltz and Brad Pitt. He's pouring him a glass of wine, and the continuous swirling in the glass. The best cinemagraphs, like you cannot tell where it starts and stops, like where it loops. It's just like a continuous thing going. It helps if it's like a natural kind of thing, like fire or water, that it could just like flow in like a stream or something. It looks nice.
All right, these are up on the iBangs. Chris, this should become your new hobby, that you're just totally neglecting these.
Yeah, these things are amazing. These look really great. They make GIFs look like dirty
All right,
garbage.
what's the Catwoman one do, though? Because I just see her sitting there.
It's the snow in the background there.
I'm not getting it on mine. I have the shittiest slow computer.
No, it's snowing back there, though. It's nuts.
Chris, let's start and make our own cinemagraphs.
I'm going to look for an app.
Well, let's do it off of TV shows. Like, I want something from 2.5 Men.
Okay. I'll try to hit some on Big Bang Theory.
That fucking show was so funny because even though they're smart, they have trouble socially because they're nerds.
Like, they don't know how to interact with people.
Yeah, they're not good with girls.
Are they autistic?
Kind of. One of them definitely is. And then the other two ones are geeks.
All right.
There's a hot girl, like, oh, they shouldn't be hanging out with her.
Yeah, what are they doing?
What's
They're
going on here?
nerds.
What's wrong? Yeah.
They're nerds.
Let's get them.
We should. We should do a new thing where we form like a pack of guys to punch nerds.
That could be an episode of Big Bang Theory where they all get beaten and robbed and put in the hospital.
And then they spend their time really afraid that the guys are going to come back and do it again.
But that chick, that hot neighbor, starts dating the guys that beat the hell out of them.
They could drop out of school, end up just, ending up in the gutter.
I like to kill Bill Cinemagraph.
Brian, St. Louis.
Hey, Ron. Todd Berry, your new intern?
Young Todd Berry, we call him.
I like it. He's the best thing I've heard in a long time on the radio. You guys doing a great job.
Well, it's all about Shelby.
Thanks,
Yeah, it
caller. Didn't get your name.
Come on.
Let's just call him Brian.
You got to pay attention, Shelby.
But if you don't catch someone's name, don't put the focus on that.
Just make up a name.
Like, I never say to Chris, like, I forget who you are. I know you're around here. I know you're around here a lot.
Every day.
Because I saw you at Pips. Are you Pips's dad or brother?
How old do I look?
I'd say 60.
Jesus. I got to make some
I'm
changes.
sure that isn't your original liver.
Nope. Still, it's OG.
You have to be careful socially like that, Shelby. Like, you can't be saying to Chris, I smell something bad coming from you. It smells like maybe it's your crotch. Or is it maybe something from your ass that leaked down there?
Oh, God. Yeah, Shelby. Stop that.
Maybe we got to send him away to one of those manor schools like they had back in the 1940s.
Yeah.
Teach him to walk with a fucking book on his head.
Shelby, you want to start smoking these cigarettes?
If it'll make me seem cooler, sure, I'm very easily persuaded.
We'd like to smoke a D cigarette.
Got me there.
Got me there. Just walking around sucking on a dildo all day. And say,
God.
look, I have this because I can't suck dick at work.
Vibrating.
Ow, my teeth. Shelby's in here with us today. He is the Breakout intern. And his cinemagraphs, which I know Shelby thinks it's the thing of the future, but I think it's got like a 1930s look about it.
Yeah.
I think it's like something like when people first used to think something like, remember like the turn of the century, they had those kind of postcards that you would look through.
The kinescope or whatever?
That's it, kinescope.
They have a few of those over at the Museum of the Modern Moving Image, excuse me, in Queens. And it's just old-timey stuff. It's pretty fun. You crank it, and then just you see like a guy walking on the street.
Oh, it's just a bunch of pictures that go as you crank it, you mean?
Well, it's one of them, yeah. And then it's pretty cool just to see.
Yeah, that was like the original things that they put out. Have you ever heard like the term Nickelodeon?
Oh, yeah.
Well, that's what they would have, and you would go in there and you would put like a nickel in, and people thought they were watching a movie just by watching a bunch of pictures spin fast.
I noticed that like quick sequence in Django Unchained where the one lady like looks through one, it looks almost 3D.
Oh, yeah.
He shoots that guy's like,
Well,
dick on.
somebody came in with a bunch of those, remember?
Brian May?
Brian May from Queen has the biggest collection of those in the
I
world.
want to say it's called a Daguerreotype type or something like that.
Stereoscopic.
Stereoscopic, not daguerreotype. I don't know what the fuck
You've just dropped down a notch.
Maybe if we were in Hungary, maybe if we were in Hungary, daguerreotype.
Like it's just that's crazy talk, man. Come on,
Get to my daguerreotype.
we're not former Soviet bloc.
Fucking just drinking vodka, watching our daguerreotypes.
Almost time to get back on the bread line.
I want to say it's called a vagina lip, but I'm not sure if that's it.
On the labia.
You look everything up on Google, but there's one thing that you couldn't look up. And
He's fucking right. You treat him like shit. That fucking kid pointed out the obvious.
Oh, please. I'm all over it. I'm nasty.
You do everything else until he asks you for something. He's fucking comfortable with you.
Yeah, maybe a bit too much. I tried to offer him an e-cigarette.
Yeah.
Throws back in my face.
We got to get a baby seat so when you and I take a road trip, we can keep him right in between us. And I'll be like this. I'll be driving. I'm like, Chris, you get him to sleep yet?
Give me some more whiskey.
We could just call our make a TV show and call it 2.5 Bears. And it's just like 2 bears that are raising what they hope to be will be another bear, except for he's a little too thin and hairless.
He's coming out twinkish. Worried about him.
We don't have twinks in our family. We're straight bear.
Can we get him hair plugs for his chest?
We'll do the entire show from Yellowstone National Park.
Perfect. It's beautiful.
We did mention big giveaway later today. A signed August and everything after by Adam Duritz. So be ready for that, first responders.
Bring it. What's so funny? I don't need your goddamn laugh in the background.
It really just you yelling, bring it,
Bring
means
it.
that you had nothing and he figured it out.
I got it all.
You wanted to be on the show, but you really had nothing to add.
At Counting Crows. I got it
I mean,
all.
you were seriously only slightly ahead of if you would have yelled out, whoop-de-doo. All right, if you look up on CNN, there's that building collapse.
Whoa.
10 people trapped?
The fire commissioner saying between 8 and 10 people are trapped.
Jesus, that's awful.
While they're trapped, Chris Stanley can read this right here.
What's this? The daguerreotype was the first commercially successful photograph process invented around 1837. See, I don't care because we were talking about Brian May's work. So your point is moot, and I don't give
Well,
a
it's
fuck.
not a made-up word. I just wanted to get that point across.
He made you look like a fucking dick on your own show.
I am a dick, so that's okay.
I wanted you two to be close, but I can see that there's some tension right
Oh,
now.
very much so.
Trouble in paradise.
Was it ever paradise in the first place?
Felt like it there for a couple minutes.
I know you can alter Wikipedia entries, so I want to put that.
All right, if you had to pick your favorite, what is it?
Sid Nancy.
I like the one with just the fucking water coming down, though.
I really like the Catwoman. It's like a futuristic snow globe.
The tech noir thing, where there's just water coming all around them. They are pretty stunning. And the weird thing is why? Just because you stop some of it?
Yeah, messes with your head.
One of the things coming up on the iBank today is about how much smokers cost their employers by going outside and smoking.
That's ridiculous.
Why? People used to be able to smoke at their desk and save money for their employers.
Yeah, so it's $5,800 is what they figured out was the average a person who smokes costs their employer. Some of that is in healthcare costs, but the vast majority of it is because it's about 5 smoke breaks a day is what they said was the average a smoker's taking. I think 5 is a little high. I'm up to about maybe 3.
Well, you don't work an 8-hour day though in a fucking cubicle, so you might really need to get out more.
Well, I do smoke 2 at a time when I do take my break.
That's weird. That you will spend how much time out there?
Between 8 and 10 minutes. I could smoke 2 cigarettes pretty quickly. And then another 10 minutes. Well, actually, the elevators here should be is what's docking people's cash. Since it took me 15 minutes to get up today in the morning because of NBC.
I went all the way to the top, and then all of a sudden, just like went all the way to the bottom again.
It's gonna happen. Sometimes the floor's lights just go off. And then it just goes right back down in the bottom. You're right, Shelby. It's inconvenient.
Not a. Yeah.
But I'll say this, because we don't work in an office, so we don't know what our regular day is like. But I have to go talk to people in their offices all the time. And I've never interrupted them working. I've interrupted conversations that they were having with coworkers. I've interrupted them playing some kind of video game or listening to music. But I've never come in and had the person go, I'm working on this right now. Because most work is just conversations. Why aren't you having a conversation if you're out smoking? And you can take your cell phone with you.
I do it. I'll be on the phone, smoking up.
Like, do you know one person here who you would say that person works hard?
I see Liam running around a lot.
That's the old Liam. New Liam is just cynical. And,
angry.
Yeah, angry. And let's face it, he's being pulled along by the Leeds boat.
Spencer's Spencer kills it.
Really? I know he's supposed to have a answer for us by 1 today.
Yeah, by 1. He gave a deadline.
To himself.
Yeah.
He goes, you know what? I'm going to do some work by 1. All right, you're going out of your way to prove me a liar. Yes, Liam works hard. Yes, Spencer works hard. You know what? Everybody works hard. It's out of that. Ron's a fucking liar. You know what? I'm glad you're here, Shelby, because I've had it with Chris Stanley trying to prove me wrong about everything. He used to be Pepperkeat, and now he's just trying to fucking be the stick in Ronnie B. spokes.
I ain't trying to be no stick in the mud.
Oh, my spokes are mud now. You fucking believe that? Shelby, you don't have a girlfriend right now?
Nope.
I think I need to try to find you one. Try to get Molly invested. Can't do it. She's afraid that he'll kill her.
Can you help make her think that you're not going to kill her?
No, he's got to go with a girl who wants to be killed.
Craigslist, then.
It's probably the best way to go.
We're to put you on as a twink on Craigslist. Let you kill some rich gays.
Yeah. Bank it up, dude.
That whole building just fell down till there's nothing left in Philadelphia. Just sticks. I would fucking immediately question the big bad wolf. Your parents didn't read you stories like that, right?
No.
I remember my parents read me the big bad wolf. You know what I said? Bullshit. There's no fucking mammal can huff and puff and blow down someone's house. I don't know where you're getting this garbage from. Who wrote this book? National Enquirer?
The fuck out of my room.
First of all, I thought this was a private place for me. I don't think adults should ever be in a kid's room under any circumstances. You got to give them a little safety in the world, you know? This has got to be my place.
I wouldn't feel safe with my own. If I had children, I wouldn't feel safe with them being alone with them. I'd have to have someone else.
You're afraid you'd blow them.
No, I just don't like children.
You know what might be safer for you? Mm-hmm. Have a girl.
Oh,
see what I did there? Made it seem like you're a big crazy gay.
I'm not gay.
Then why are you afraid to be with a little boy in his room?
I'm afraid to be with a little girl too. I just don't like being around children.
But what do you think you're going to do to them?
I don't know. I just don't
have
like
sex with them.
No, I don't want to have sex
fall
with
on
kids.
them. Maybe you think you're going to get drunk and fall on them.
You would tell them leave that door open.
Yeah.
Jerry, you're on the Ron and Fez show.
Yeah. Hey, I had a quick question for you guys. Just wondering if we can get Roland in the room and have him and Shelby just have a really long conversation and see how many listeners will kill themselves.
It's a great idea, Jer. What can I say?
So you started so strong, and then what can I say? It almost is like every conversation falls into a nap with him.
Gotta get them on run a Red Bull or something.
I'm okay. I'm all right.
I'll have a Red Bull, or at least an E-Red Bull.
Oh man, I love Red
Or
Bull.
you're just drinking vapor out of a can and feeling great about it.
I like analog Red Bulls.
You're an analog man.
I really am. Yeah. Well, now I'm torn between two worlds: the digital cigarette and the analog cigarette.
You know what we got to find you?
What's that?
Analog girl. Julie in Queens. How you doing?
Hey, what's going on, guys?
None of your goddamn business, Julie.
All right, cool. All right, I want to rename Shelby.
Oh, nice.
Is it okay?
Sure.
How about Baby Buscemi?
Oh, I like that a lot.
Yeah. All right, cool. That's all I called for.
I don't mind that.
Well, what about we just call you Chet after his character in Barton Fink. Remember? My name is Chet. I'll write it down for you. Chet. My name is Chet, and if you need anything, just ask for me. Chet. I liked the smaller the part with him, the more I liked him. Like I liked when he was Eddie Dane's boy. Oh, before I get Janice, but first, Stephen Philly wants to give me a spy report.
Spy report. Spy report. Spy report.
Steve, what do you got, buddy?
Hey there, Ronnie.
Yeah.
It's now being reported here as a explosion, not a collapse.
What the hell happened, dude?
I don't know. I'm still trying to get all the info. I think they evacuated some stuff around there because they were worried about another explosion following it.
What kind of business took place in that building?
I don't know. It's changed a lot around there. They built a giant, luxury high-rise, but it's surrounded by, old porn theaters and stuff. So.
All right, so it's got a little bit of everything for everybody.
Yeah, I think Cole Hamels lives in the high-rise they built.
Don't tell me Cole Hamels involved in this somehow.
Oh, no.
I don't know. He's having a bad year. Maybe he's taking out on the building across the street.
Yeah, everybody's having a fucking bad year down there.
All right, man.
Peace. Craziness. Hicks, I want you to stay all over this. Don't treat me like I'm Shelby, but stay on fucking Google on this for me.
Oh, no. I'm all over it.
Every news story is following it. I'm going to go to this call, but I have a feeling, just from what I can see, I have a feeling that it's a crank call. PJ in D.C.
Hey, what's up, Ronnie?
I was wrong.
Oh, just so you know, I vape all day as I listen to you guys. I'm actually sent you all a package. They're cigar-like e-cig for you, sir. Also some stuff for Pepper Hicks.
Well, here's what I like, and we didn't know what to call it. You vape.
All right, yeah.
We didn't know we were vaping.
You're vaping, sir, and
all right.
If you need any help, let me know. I know more about it than most people do.
All right. Thanks, PJ.
Oh, sir.
Peace. I'd love to quit smoking.
We're just a couple of vapors.
Turning Japanese. Didn't they do that song?
Yeah.
Great. All right, let's put that on like it's the analog in the fucking 80s. All right, enough of this shit.
All right.
Shelby, there's no other girl interns around here that you got your eye on? Some of those hall girls? I don't think there's as many interns walking around the building as there normally is. I like to have this place just fucking chock filled with them.
I know Ba had his eyes set on some blonde that was chatting up earlier.
Is that right? See, fucking Ba's a stud. And unlike you, he's outgoing.
Definitely.
Where you're timid. Ba's like, hey, it's a fucking numbers game, dude.
One of these interns gotta say yes.
This is like Swingers, and you're the fucking guy who couldn't get any pussy till the end of the movie, but then he gets a really fucking hot chick.
Hell yeah.
Let's face it, Boz Vince Vaughn. You're not going to get around that.
Don't worry, though.
And then he's interning at Google.
Heather Graham was in your future.
Something about that Heather Graham, huh?
Yeah. Quite attractive.
I think if you were dating Heather Graham, you would probably be saying this. I don't know. Why don't we just stay in and fuck? You know what I mean? I don't really feel like going out.
We should never leave this room.
Yeah. Chris, you're on the Run and Fez show.
I hear you guys talking about the electronic cigarettes.
So?
And a friend of mine has a store, and there's a whole big world of it. He has a bunch of different juices, flavors, and things like that for him. Figure you guys might be interested.
Yeah, send us some. Send us some electronic cigars.
Yeah, he has them. He has the electronic cigars.
Yeah, get him right on it.
All right, bring it.
All right, if you guys want to put me on hold.
Yeah, I'm going to put you on hold. Bob, take care of this. Make it the best thing that ever fucking happened in history.
Don't you screw this up. We're vaping now.
And we know that you're fucking chasing chicks up and down the hall.
All he cares about is pussy. I mean, come on. I put a bio together, dude. Come on.
He's not like you. He doesn't just care about cock.
Turned it around on you.
Don't
Yeah,
only
I did.
care about cock.
You see that? Did you notice that? I used a little fucking Aikido move on him where I took what he thought was his strength and used it against him. His love of vagina. No, you actually have a distaste for vagina.
Now
You blamed it on Ba.
Now I just look like I'm cock hungry all the time.
All right, let me ask you this, since you like the pussy so much, right? If Ba had a vagina and so did Shelby, which one would you bang?
I'd bang Shelby.
Okay.
Easily.
You did that without thinking, dude.
Yeah.
I mean, I wanted you to at least wrestle with it a little bit.
Shelby, take that as a compliment.
That means a lot.
Good.